The Week 12 NFL DFS Show is brought to you by WinBet. WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, Virginia, and now, pretty soon, I'm guessing, they're going to be there in Maryland too. But right now, for WinBet, those states are live. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WinBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100 and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. We're also brought to you by the SGPN store and their big Cyber Monday sale. 20% off everything in the store for one day only this Monday using the code CYBER at store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Scotty Stacks, how are we doing tonight? Are you on another vacation?
I'm on another vacation. Yeah, it just happens to be with the whole family on a Thanksgiving vacation here in Fenwick Island, Delaware. The great state of Delaware does not allow the sports gambling. So I got it on Maryland, just legalized 2 days ago. I get here and I can't place any bets on the games yesterday on my DraftKings app. So you live and you learn. In Joe Biden's America, can you believe that? It's
the first state.
I know. And you can go to sports books here in state and gamble
in person,
in person, which I don't have the time. I'm trying to do a show here, trying to bring people the content they want for DFS.
You can play. 12. Hey, DFS is still eligible in Delaware, so that's what we're talking about.
I put in 140 lineups for Thanksgiving, $140 on my 70. Exactly how you're supposed to do it if you're a GPP bro. So, winning.
You are a deposit prince.
Oh my gosh, man. Me and Pete Overzet need to drown our sorrows together the last couple of weeks. So
I can't relate. I was profitable yesterday.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Yeah, okay. Sorry, first cuss on the show. I owe you one.
Bitch is not a bad word.
I know.
Bitch is a female dog.
Well, but I'm calling you one, so that's kind of a obtuse of me. So I recant, I repent. But
my
let's
mom
talk about
kick your ass.
I know. Listen, my mom could kick my ass. She's here. She's over there looking through the window at me and the family, gathering. Like, what's he doing in there? So now I'm excited to talk the slate. We've got 11 games. A good slate, not a great slate. We've got a couple of high totals, a couple of low totals. 36 points in the Denver game. Vomit. But we'll find you some value. Yeah, really. Go 30. But there's some games I think can shoot. And we'll start off with the first game I think that on my slate is your slate, Cincinnati, Tennessee. We'll make sure we're on the slate.
We're looking at the same screen.
Same screen. Good. Okay. So Cincinnati goes into Tennessee. They're 3-point road favorites. Tennessee home dogs. What do you think about this matchup for Joe Burrow, for Jamar Chase coming back? Do you trust him at all? I mean, how are you looking at this offense?
I'm going to have a little Chase because I don't know. Nobody knows what limitations, if any, he'll have. The Titans have to prepare as if he's 100% because if they don't, he could torch him. Like if he's 80% and they plan him to be 50% and they're like, oh, we're going to call your bluff and we're going to treat Jamar Chase like a decoy. That's how you get barbecued, especially when the Titans' weakness on defense is their secondary. Their pass rush is really good. Their run defense is really good. The Bengals are all banged up. Jamar Chase might be back in full swing, but there's no Joe Mixon, so you're relying on Samaje Perine to be the lead back. That doesn't bode well against a defense that's more of a pass funnel. So I do expect the Bengals to air it out, and I'm going to mix some stacks up where it's going to be Jamar Chase, mostly T. Higgins. T. Higgins is my favorite play out of all of them. And then if I'm going to hedge my bets to, okay, is Joe Burrow going to have time to throw or is he not? I'm going to throw in some Hayden Hurst because short yardage wise, Hayden Hurst at 3,300 is a great price.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Hayden Hurst. And actually, I thought you had sent me a head-to-head for our DFS Clash. So I already put the lineup in and sent it back. It must have been an old retread, lineup generator.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, it's okay. Well, in that lineup, I had Greg Dortch. And so he's not even practicing. So I had to pay attention.
He's got a banged up thumb. So if he can play, he's a great value. But we're not talking about the Arizona game yet.
No, I'm just telling you, like I'd already made lineups and done stuff, and I thought I'd send it to you. No, I'm an idiot. Well, we already know that, but you did win the Clash last week, by the way. Congratulations on the tip of the old cap. Yeah, 6 and
back
5
in the game.
Yeah, back in the game. You could back 500 this week, right? Points. I think I got you on aggregate, but anyway,
not by much though.
Not by much.
I made up some ground.
The gap. Yeah. What do you think about Samaje Perine? 19% ownership right now.
Such a tough matchup.
It is a tough matchup,
and he's not as bad as people think he is. He's been perfectly capable when he's healthy as being that complimentary third down back behind Joe Mixon. So I'll have a little bit of him because I don't want to miss out on Joe Burrow throwing 50 passes and Perine getting 7 or 8 catches in this game. He just had 3 touchdowns, all receiving last week, and that was because Mixon was hurt. Mixon got dinged up with a concussion early on, and then it was the Samaje Perine show even before he got the concussion. So I have a feeling this is going to be a very pass-heavy attack for Cincinnati. So I will have some Perine just for the volume, just in case he scores a touchdown. I don't expect his per-touch efficiency to be very good against Tennessee because that's the strength of their defenses up front. But yeah, on the other side, I don't know how well the Titans are going to be able to score against the Bengals defense. The Bengals haven't been terrible on defense either. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, if not a little bit above average. So it's going to be kind of a weird game where I don't really know how it's going to go. But I'm going to build some Burrow stacks. I'm going to throw some Derrick Henry in there because you don't want to miss when Derrick Henry goes ballistic against. It doesn't matter who it's against. You want a little bit of Derrick Henry no matter what. And Treylon Burks at 4,200. I'm going to have a lot of that.
Yeah, I was going to say differentiating yourself with some Burks might be a good play. Cincinnati is 11th against the running back position, giving up about 21.
I knew my stats. I knew it.
And then Tennessee, though, they're 6th. They only give up about 18.5 points.
These are both tough run defenses.
Right. Why not just exploit the pass on both sides? Burks stack maybe with Higgins, with a Hayden Hurst. Yeah, maybe do a skinny stack. No QB, or you can throw Burrow in there if you want to as well.
I'm definitely playing Burrow.
So, yeah, I know.
Burrow's averaging 25 points a game. I'm not fading Burrow.
No, I'm with you there. He's solid at, what is he, 6,700? Yeah, 6,700. So I like it. Speaking of things that are nice.
Yeah. Ready to win money and boost your odds? WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. We're bringing the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips with Wynn Rewards on WynnBET. Be on the lookout for the WynnBET Win Hour each Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. During WynnBET Win Hour, marquee games of the week will have better odds on WynnBET, giving you a larger payout opportunity. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WynnBET. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WynnBET has what you need to win. Ready to play? Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head on over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Cyber Monday sale. 20% off everything in the merch store using promo code CYBER. That's CYBER. Store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. One day only. What are you going to get at the store on Cyber Monday?
You got to get a beanie. You got to get a beanie, right? Like you got to get
one of these
sweatpants. Yeah.
I know you have sweatpants.
Yeah, I run in them all the time. I need another pair.
See, I don't run with my legs. I run my mouth.
Yeah. Well, you know what? My family all told me I look really good now that I came back as the older, fatter brother who's slimmed down. It was a good Thanksgiving, you know?
Excellent.
So, yeah. Also, looking at my own viral tweet that is Kenny Powers dancing around. I tweeted out, how the rest of the world sees Americans cheering on Team USA today with the Kenny Powers. And I told my brother-in-law, it won't go viral. Don't worry. It is. It's getting over 75,000 likes, heading for the 100,000 club. So not likes, but views. But
how does he do it?
You know what? It's Kenny Powers. That's how he does it, folks. It's
Everybody
just the
loves
magic.
Kenny Powers.
Everybody loves
Eastbound and
Kenny
down.
Powers.
Eastbound and down is legendary.
He's a legend. So, speaking of a legendary, we got 10 more games to get to. Washington and Atlanta, not legendary. That was a good segue.
Pieces, though.
But Taylor Heineke, I'll say Taylor Heineke becoming kind of an urban legend here in Washington. That was my segue here. He's only 5,300. I think he's a good cash value.
He's coming off 2 really tough games against tough defenses, and now he gets a cupcake. The Atlanta Falcons, compared to his last 2 opponents, both on the road the last 2 weeks, everybody's off Heineke. Everybody's off Heineke. He got named the starter, had 2 rough tumble games.
Bad games.
And 7 points in each one of them. Both on the road. They're back home against the Atlanta Falcons, who cannot play defense. I love Heineke at 5,300. That's a value play with leverage and a stacking option from hell. Terry McLaurin.
5,800. I mean, it's a great value. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 11-1 for both of those guys. You still got thousands of dollars.
Keep your voice down. This is This is a smash skinny stack. You can run it back with Drake London if you're feeling frisky, but I just leave it at the skinny. You can save so much money. Think about who you can stack around those 2 guys.
Right.
And Heineke has rushing upside. He's got a good matchup. McLaurin is just his favorite guy to target. It's not even close, really. Yeah. And as everybody knows, Terry McLaurin's really good at football.
Pretty good. Yeah. No, I like it. And the Falcons secondary, they give up the second most fantasy points to wide receivers so far on the year. 13 touchdowns, over 2,000 receiving yards, right? And 100.
Well, and they started off really well because they had AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward healthy. They're both injured. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna give up a ton of yards and points. So
I mean, just for perspective, Washington just got done playing Houston. They've given up 95 receptions this year. And then on the other spectrum, Atlanta's given up the most. They've given up 163. So you're talking about a whole other third of
everybody thinks of the Texans as this terrible roster. Well, their DBs are super strong.
Right.
And then before that, I believe they had the Rams before that. Was that right?
You don't need to pass against them. You just run against them. So it's just more efficient to just,
back-to-back tough matchups on the road. And now we get a home game and a cupcake matchup. Heineke's a smash. McLaurin's a smash. And I love only spending that much, like 20% of your salary cap on your top stack. You can throw in some really studly men in the rest of that build.
That's what she said. But yeah, I'm gonna concur with you on that one. All right, let's jump to Houston, Miami. 14-point spread here for the home favorites. But like you said, you're not a defense that has given up a lot to the passing attack.
This is
Miami's all passing attack. It's like 2 straight.
This is an intriguing matchup. My goodness, what are the Dolphins going to do? Are they going to tempt fate and continue to challenge a better secondary than they've faced? Or are they going to exploit a matchup advantage that they have on the ground? Because we know, even though McDaniels had a ton of success through the air because of their receiving weapons and Tua making that big third-year leap, they're still a run-first offense. This is still a Shanahan-based offense that likes to run the football and use play action and timing to get guys open in space through the passing game. So I think it's interesting to see whether Miami continues to be pass heavy or whether they emphasize the run because Houston cannot stop the run. Jeff Wilson.
Not at all. I was going to say, he's 30%,
how chalky is Jeff?
30% rostered right now. Yeah. But you know what? You only need two running backs to start. So if one of them's rostered, who cares?
If he's optimal, he's optimal.
I agree. And this is an optimal matchup, too, for this. So I'm concurring. It
doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, and I don't even know if you need to stack this game. If you do, maybe you stack, maybe Pierce coming back. But I don't even know if I like that.
Nico Collins is the only Houston guy I want.
Yeah, and maybe if you're going to get one of the receivers, you go Jalen Waddle. He's priced down 1,500. I know Tyreek gets more volume. He's number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. But you're looking to be I'm saying optimal, but also sometimes contrarian, just to kind of find out where the targets are going to go. If it's not Jeff Wilson, if it's touchdowns, don't go. You're chasing touchdowns in GPP. That's what you want. And so Jeff Wilson could get you 2 touchdowns. It might be more difficult for Tyreek Hill to get you 2 or for Waddle to get you 2. They're more likely to get you 1, I think, in this scenario. But
yeah, this could be that. This could be that regression game for this Miami passing attack that hasn't happened yet because they've just been torching everybody.
I mean, slight regression is possible.
Well, regression in DFS is scary because it's a slippery slope. When you're expecting you're trying to find ceiling games and ceiling performances to win money in DFS. This is the kind of matchup where you kind of shy away from the chalk because the matchup is not ideal.
It is pretty chalky right now. So
so tough matchup and chalk. I'm not a huge fan of this stack, even though I will have some Tua with Tyreek, Tua with Waddle.
It's expensive. I mean, and you got a 20%.
It's chalky and it's very tough.
If you pivot to Nico Collins or Jalen Waddle, you're saving yourself a ton of chalk. So you're 16% if you stack them combined chalk compared to Tua and Tyreek Hill are at 34% chalk. So it's just different position, of course, but you're still looking at just a massive difference there. And the targets, they've been Tyreek Hill's way, but maybe in this it's optimal to pivot to Waddle depending on the coverage. We'll see how it goes, but I like not going all in on one of these wide receivers, but more looking at the running back and seeing that position as valuable. All right, let's talk about the next game. Latavius Murray, $5,000. 15% rostered. He's one of the higher rostered RBs. I get it. He's the only game in town here. Carolina, though, unless they're playing the Falcons, they do a good job against the run. So
yeah, they got crushed by the Falcons.
Falcons just exposed them because of the RPO option and the ability. But Russell doesn't have that. Russ is just as bland as his sandwich right now. So.
Yeah, Russell. Remember, we said Russell had the reverse LASIK, where he went from being one of the most intuitive, instinctual quarterbacks in the NFL for years on end, where he was one of the best of the best of the best at finding mismatches. He apparently has gone blind, and Jerry Jeudy's been banged up. Cortland Sutton can't get open to save his life. Dulcich is wide open, but Wilson never sees him. And the running game has been bad. Latavius Murray and everybody else since Javonte Williams went down, they've been bad. They've been really bad. They can't get any momentum. They released Melvin Gordon, so it is Latavius Murray with a bunch of other guys. Marlon Mack is going to be active. Good Lord. I if anything, I'm going to play the defense against Russell Wilson and just pick the low-hanging fruit right off the branch.
I like
right
that.
Off the branch.
Yeah. I mean,
we saw the Raiders defense make Russell Wilson look bad, and that says a lot because the Raiders can't defend anybody, and they made Russell Wilson look bad.
Terrible. Just terrible. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Let's jump to an interesting game. You've got Tom Brady coming off a bye, needed it, right? His wife is dating a jiu-jitsu instructor, ex-wife, excuse me.
That's Brazilian.
Brazilian. Of course. The guy could kick Tom Brady's ass in 6 milliseconds.
You want to take a roundhouse to the face while I'm wearing these bad boys?
Strong vibe.
I'm just picturing Rex Kwando.
Oh my God, you're killing me. But Cleveland, they showed a little gumption last week. It was all said and done.
Lost.
Yeah, I got their asses kicked. I know, but they. I mean, my gumption is DFS wise. Amari Cooper, one of the better plays. They're at home.
Jacoby was one of my top quarterbacks. I just stacked him with the wrong guy. I mean, I didn't stack him with the wrong guy. I stacked him with
just a little bit DPJ heavy. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. I needed more Cooper because Cooper went for 35 points. I'm not about all.
That was optimal.
DPJ was awesome, but Cooper was just out of this world.
Yeah. How are you approaching the wide receivers in this game? Because, I mean, Godwin's a good value at 6K. For cash, I think he's a lock. GPP, Mike Evans might be a little bit better at the 7% rostership. How are you kind of playing these receivers? And then Amari Cooper, he's at home. He's road home splits are a real thing, even though last week was, kind of in neutral, and he showed
He likes indoors, though. He likes indoors.
He does, and we're outdoors in Cleveland, so take it for what it's worth. Cold Cleveland. How are you looking at this game?
Tampa Bay's pass defense is kind of middle of the road. They're a little tougher. I expect Carlton Davis to kind of shadow Cooper, which makes it really tough on Cooper to have a ceiling performance like he did last week, where he's going up against backup corners for Buffalo. Yeah. So I'm going to do another Cooper fade and pray. And I'm going to go after both DPJ and David Njoku. David Njoku is going up against the Bucks defense is 29th against opposing tight ends. And Njoku is, before Njoku got banged up with the ankle injury, he was one of Jacoby Brissett's top guys. Like, that was his guy. And he was getting solid volume every week with big upside because he's a great athlete. So I'm back on David Njoku, 3,600. Going to see a growing snap share because he's getting healthier. I really like David Njoku this week. But as far as stacking goes, Brady, Godwin, Evans, Julio, Rashad White, 5,100. He's going to be a little chalky by the time we hit lock. I think he's only trending at 4% now, but that's going to go way up. Leonard Fournette,
21%.
Yeah, it went up fast.
Quick. Yeah.
Well, Fournette got the doubtful tag, which means that it's Rashad White season.
Dreaded.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rashad White is good chalk, 5,100. He's going to get lots of work. He's going to get a lot of receiving volume because Tom Brady loves to check the ball down. And Rashad White, he hasn't been very efficient, but he's a rookie. And I just want him. He's a little bit better of a play than Samaje Perine. So I'll lean to the side of Rashad White when I'm holding him up to Samaje Perine. Easier matchup.
Save yourself some money too.
Yeah, and the Browns' defensive line is bad. Like, their front four is getting knocked around this year.
I don't want to tell anybody this, but they are the 31st ranked against running backs this year. They get up 16 touchdowns, which happens to be the worst in the NFL or the best in the NFL if you're DFSing. So just between you,
they gave up 170 yards to the Bills, and that was between the running backs. Devin Singletary and James Cook ran all over the Browns.
Who are those guys?
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm excited. Yeah.
I think the Rashad White play is going to be good, even though it's going to be chalky. But I love stacking Brady this week. Brady is going to be low owned, 5,800. I love stacking Brady this week.
Yeah, 6% according to Run the Sims. So yeah, no, I like it. Good call. Yeah, run it. All right. Speaking of good calls.
Yeah.
Segue.
Huh. Oh, they can cut this out, but this is NBA podcast only, so we're good.
That's it?
That's what it says. NBA podcast only.
And then we don't need to cut anything. We can just keep rolling.
Well, they can cut it out when they're doing the podcast editing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of podcast editing, can we just edit out the Chicago Bears without Justin Fields?
He's not out yet.
I don't know, but I mean, it sounds like he has a torn shoulder. Like, it doesn't sound good. So he's a guy who takes hits to the shoulder.
He's a football player.
Right. I know. But it doesn't bode well for the longevity.
Put him in a harness. Tell him to slide. He's a good slider.
I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not. If he plays, he'll be fine. If he doesn't play, whatever. We're not going to play the Bears anyway.
No. Oh no!
This is a tough matchup for the Bears. Either way,
yeah.
We're talking about. I like a little bit of Montgomery, but that's about it.
What about Garrett Wilson at 4,300?
Yeah. Elijah Moore, 3,500.
Yeah. 3,500.
Yeah. Here's what happens: they demote, they bench, and relegate Zach Wilson to third string. He's not even going to be active for the game. It's going to be Mike White backed up by Joe Flacco. And Zach Wilson's going to be in street clothes for this game, which is hilarious because
that's awesome.
It was Jeff Bell, our friend for whom Jay Bell tolls, that made the amazing tweet that said, well, if you step back, every single soul except for the Jets knew this was going to happen. It's so true.
Right.
It's like, oh, you took Zach Wilson, the pretty boy from BYU, over Justin freaking Fields. Yeah, you deserve this. Well done. And Joe Douglas has been a fantastic GM in every facet of that, except for the Zach Wilson pick. Mike White, believe it or not, Mike White untaps all of these weapons for the Jets.
Well,
Michael
Elijah Moore's
Carter
got
is in play.
0% rostership right now. 0.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He was running wide open all last game out of the slot. Wide freaking open. Nobody covering him. He's beating all sorts of coverage. Zach Wilson refused to get rid of the ball. Could not do it.
He likes to run around and just get sacked.
And throw the ball away or into coverage instead of throwing it away.
Yeah.
He's just a terrible quarterback who has no idea what he's doing out there.
None.
And he got benched for good reason. It's probably too late because everybody knew it was a bad pick from last year on. This is just a Mike White unlocks all these weapons. Yeah. Tyler Conklin's back in play. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Michael Carter. They're all in play now because Zach Wilson is on the bench.
I mean, do we Galaxy bring Mike White at 4,900?
No.
No. Okay.
But his weapons, yes.
His weapons, yes.
And the Jets defense at 3,300. Hell yes.
Oh, yeah. I like that one. So, all right. Let's jump to Baltimore visiting Jacksonville. Jacksonville are 3.5-point home dogs. And, you've got Lamar ready to rock and roll. I liked your call last week. I gave you some shit for it. Oh, sorry. That is a cuss word. Some guff for it because you were saying they'd hold Lamar in check. He did. It was just a rainy, cold, gross day in Baltimore. Terrible day. Great day for John Madden type. Boom.
It was a great day to. It was a great day to bet against a stupidly high spread.
It was a really high spread. It was ridiculously 15. High. Yeah. Did it get that high at the end? It was like 11 and a half or 12 to get up there. That's insane. So that's stupid.
Yeah, I bet it at 13 and a half, which was great. It was a lock. It was my lock of the week, and of course, it was an easy win.
Yeah,
Baltimore scored at the very end to make it 10, but it was within a field goal the whole game until the very end. I was just like, easy money, cash it.
Well, speaking of easy money this week, you've got kind of concentrated targets and opportunities for the Jags in ETN and Christian Kirk, right? But they're both kind of priced, a little. I mean, ETN down a little bit, Christian Kirk up a little bit. How are you playing both of these? One of these? Are you stacking? Are you going either or in this matchup?
I'm going either or. I'm not stacking. Trevor Lawrence hasn't shown me enough to trust him in a stack. But ETN I'll play in some lineups. Christian Kirk I'll play in other lineups. And I like doing a stack, like a face-off stack with one of those two Jags along with Mark Andrews. Yeah, Mark Andrews is the prized possession. He's the second most expensive tight end. He's going to get a whole hell of a lot less chalk than Travis Kelce, even though the gap between tight end 1 and tight end 2 is massive. Massive. They were saying there's the same gap between Kelce and Andrews as there is between Andrews and tight end 35 on the season.
That's wild.
Whoa. That is crazy.
They're both at 12% rostership right now. Hayden Hurst at 11, Foster Moreau at 10.
Just tell me I'm going to get all the Kelce if he's only 12%.
Yeah, he's 12. He's 12%.
I'm going to use all the Kelce.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but that's pretty crazy, right?
But yeah, Andrews paired with Etienne or Kirk is about how much Andrews I'm going to have.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right. I wanted to ask, are you going to have any Evan Ingram at 3,200? I wanted you to,
No.
This is my impersonation of somebody we love. I'll probably be under the field in that situation.
I was just watching him before this.
based on the matchup data and when you look at the probability of outcomes. So, yeah.
If he could catch the ball, I'd like him a lot more.
I'd like him a lot better. I'd like him a lot better if his hands weren't made of stone. So,
right. And he wears a stupid number for a tight end, number 17. Well, who's he trying to kid?
I don't like that number. So
me neither.
So all right, let's jump to a game that's a little bit funner. And I say that because you think that the weapons will be back. You hope the weapons will be back. At least a weapon will be back. Maybe Keenan Allen back, looking good. Getting more routes run. Being
Keenan's back. Williams is out. We're not going to be surprised when Josh Palmer goes completely ballistic this week too, because it took Mike Williams hurting himself for re-aggravating the high ankle sprain on the first play, and then Palmer was right there in that spot, taking over and did great. Yeah. But Keenan Allen unlocks this offense. He is
6,100, bro.
He's the chain mover of this offense. And here's my favorite stack: is Herbert, Allen, and Eckler. And we're game stacking. This is a fun game stack game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Who am I running it back with? With those three Chargers, who am I running it back? Can you guess?
I know you hate James Conner, so I know you will not play him. You know what? You could run it back with DeAndre Hopkins if you wanted to.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I mean,
DeAndre Hopkins is my wide receiver 1 this week.
Yeah, I'd run it back with him.
And he's 7,700, so I'm going to spend up. I'm going to stack the hell out of this game because there will be a lot of passing attempts. If Dortch plays, he's got the thumb injury. We know Rondale's out with the groin. So if Dortch plays 3,100, even with one bad thumb, he's going to be a perfect play for 3,100. But it's kind of if he's going to play or not. They haven't ruled him out or in yet. Game time decisions always one that you have to be careful with, especially in the late window. But the Chargers offense is awake with Keenan Allen. They are woke.
Yeah, I love that. What about, do you like any tight end action, any Trey McBride, any Gerald Everett,
Everett, yes.
Yeah, 44.
Everett and Palmer. Everett and Palmer will make some alternate stacks for me. I'm gonna do a lot of varieties of the Chargers against the Cardinals because it's just gonna be high volume. I don't expect the Cardinals to give up that many big plays, but it's gonna be a lot of death by 1,000 cuts. And in DraftKings, where it's PPR, Herbert and the volume to his guys is gonna be very good. His guys are so talented. It's just Eckler everywhere. Like Eckler's just.
I love Eckler. Yeah.
He's a friend of the fantasy football community. He plays it himself. He wants to do well. He scores touchdowns just about every game.
Yeah, he does. And he goes on shows with Matt Harmon and Jonathan Taylor and just kicks it, which is just I love it.
2 degrees of separation between us and Austin Eckler.
I mean, yeah, and then 3 between him and JT and me. So that makes me feel special.
We're basically cousins now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, listen, I sent Matt Harmon a wedding gift. That's how I roll. I love that guy. That guy's a brother to me. He's an example too, as somebody who lost a bunch of weight. I did the same thing. I've lost over 100 pounds, and I'm getting back into being even better in shape. So.
I found it.
That's one of your best jokes ever. Oh man, you're killing me. Just don't kill yourself with the weight. That's what I'm trying to not. All right. Now, let's talk about the next game, which is the second highest total on the board. By the way, the LA Chargers game, 48-point total, a 3-point home dogs for Arizona. I forgot to mention that. So I'm trying to do the spreads, but my brain's kind of
over if Kyler Murray's playing, which I think he is, because everybody's dropping Colt McCoy en masse already.
I think
that's that's gonna tell me who the starter's gonna be.
Yeah, shoot. That game's going to shoot. But this game's looking like it might shoot too, but I don't know about that. I think Seattle's defense is a little better. Do you think Vegas is going to be able to just exploit them? Or is it just, I didn't think so. It's Kenneth Walker's season, though, for me at the 6,900. That sounds like a great price.
I'm going to be playing a bunch of Seahawks.
Yeah.
This
good
is
value everywhere.
Geno Smith. Hot take, right? Geno Smith is my QB1 this week overall.
Ooh, that's spicy. I love it. It's a picante.
Yeah.
Well, it's a late game, which I like. It's 6K, which is great. And you can stack,
which means DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Marquise Goodwin, Kenneth Walker, Noah Fant, Will Dissly. Name a Seattle skill position player, and I'm stacking him with Geno Smith.
I like it. A lot of diversification there. You
love
want a little taste.
Love Geno Smith this week. Love him. And yes, I am running it back with Devontae Adams because he cannot be covered.
No, he cannot. No.
We thought, he's got a bad matchup against Patrick Surtain. He put Patrick Surtain on the evening news.
Yeah. He called him out, yelled at him after the game.
He said he ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet.
He wouldn't shake his hand because he wasn't ready yet.
He wasn't worthy.
He didn't get the dap up.
And Surtain wasn't Surtain number 1 PFF corner in the league before that game?
Yeah, not anymore. No, not anymore. No, my favorite part about it is a lot of times with players, like you see them like exchanging jerseys on social media. Devontae Adams pushes, camera guys out of the way. He yells at opposing players. He's just doing his own thing.
Guess where Devontae Adams is from, baby?
Is it NorCal? Take a drink. Me and Mike said we're inventing a new game. Every time Bo mentions NorCal, you got to take
Craig already plays that every show we do.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, it's a great game to play for every show you're on. So,
but yeah, Devontae Adams definitely from Northern California.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, shout out.
Hey,
8,600.
We're just the most competitive people. That's all. Where we're champions are born, but we are a little bit too competitive at times.
That makes sense. I understand. Devontae Adams is the second most expensive behind Tyreek Hill, 8,800 for Tyreek, 86. So you can't have both of them. He's 17% rostered compared to 20% for Hill, and then Hopkins is a little bit less price.
I took my medicine last week. I faded Devontae Adams, and now it's over. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no, that's a good choice. By the way, Fabian Monroe, I called him Foster Monroe, 10%. Foster Moreau, the people, 10%. That's just wild, right now. I get it's a good value, but that's
he's terrible at football. He sucks.
Yeah.
I will have a little bit of Foster Moreau because he is facing a very bad defense against tight ends in Seattle. Seattle's strength is on the outside corners, which means you're going to have the 6'4", 4'2", 40 guy, Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, the rookie, up against Devontae Adams for most of this game. He's going to have a tough time, really tough time. So the Raiders might put up some points, but I think Seattle's going to put up 40 on them.
I could see it being like 35-20 in this game for the Seattle.
I think I said 41-27. So I'm definitely taking the over on this one.
Yeah. All right, let's get to one that it looks like San Francisco, they're heavily favored here. 8.5 home favorites. 43.5
I don't
point.
Like it. I don't like it.
What do you think about this game?
It's a tough matchup for San Francisco. It really is.
It is. I mean, you do have Christian McCaffrey, which 8,800 is a little expensive, but I mean, I do like him. He is only 8% rostered, which is nice.
He's not getting the same volume that he was getting in Carolina to warrant $8,800. Does he have a chance to pay off at that price? Yes. Is it a very good chance? No. So I'll have very little Christian McCaffrey this week because the Saints, what they cover well is underneath stuff. They're death to tight ends. So I'm fading George Kittle at his price because it's just tough. Like if anything, I'll only have to play Kittle if I'm going to stack him with Jimmy G because the back end of the secondary for New Orleans is their weak spot. But as we know, the Jimmy Garoppolo is not your premier downfield passer. That's a given. But as far as throwing short yardage targets, throwing guys open, getting guys in stride to run after the catch, that's where Jimmy G is in his sweet spot. We saw it last week, 4-touchdown game. Everything was perfectly in rhythm. We finally saw Jimmy G get off his first read and throw a bullet pass on time and with accuracy to his second and third progressions, especially on that first Ayuk touchdown where he was the third guy in the progression and he threw a dart in between coverage for the touchdown.
Good pass. Yeah, really good.
And Ayuk with that route, that was filthy route on the backside of the play.
He took him so far to the left just to cut him all the way back. In this game, I'm going to tell you, Brandon Ayuk is priced up at 6,400, but he's only 2% rostered. So that is
skinny stack for sneakers. Skinny stack. Jimmy G and Ayuk.
I would do an Ayuk run back with Alvin Kamara as well. That might be like
and Olave. Olave's a good one too.
Yeah. So, all right, one more game. We'll get you out of here for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, the fantasy football side of it, DFS particularly. We love having you. Thank you. 30 views last week. Appreciate you on YouTube. I'm sure there's been more downloads on the podcast. So keep it going. Like, subscribe. Get this channel off the ground. Both of my channels have more.
Download that pod.
Yeah, please get the jingle that download bell for us. So, LA Rams going into Kansas City are 15.5 point underdogs. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't get to 17 points come Sunday. Yeah. What do you think about this game? Is it just going to be Travis Kelce all day now? You found out he's only 12% rostered. You kind of got,
obviously. Obviously, 7,700 for Kelce is actually cheap compared to what I would pay for him on a slate like this. I'd pay him up to 8,500 for the matchup he has. And it's not because the Rams aren't good at covering tight ends. They're actually pretty good at covering tight ends. Travis Kelce's not your run-of-the-mill tight end. He's just different. And the receivers are so banged up for Kansas City. So what is Patrick Mahomes going to do? He's going to force feed Travis Kelce, just like he did against the Raiders, just like he did against the Chargers. This is just I don't trust anybody else. My running backs are god-awful. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, cool. You're a straight line runner who runs in the back of the lineup and falls down. He had a ceiling performance last week at 10.7 points. 10.7 is Pacheco's ceiling. McKinnon has a higher ceiling because he's a good receiver, but that really only comes into play when they're in 2-minute situations or if they're running behind a little bit. Like they're in a tough game, they're going to run a lot more McKinnon because they trust him as a receiver and a blocker on third down. But this isn't a McKinnon game because of the game script as heavy favorites. This is Kelce, more Kelce, maybe some MVS, maybe some Sky Moore, but I am really just feeling Kelce Mahomes. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink it. And this is the lock of the week. I'm known as saying, what's the biggest, dumbest spread of the week? This is it. The Rams defense is not going to let them lose by more than 2 touchdowns. It just won't happen.
All right. I like it. Getting you out. Let me ask you, who would you rather play? Guillotine League with no Mike Williams. My lineup is Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor. I've got Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Jeff Wilson, Pat Freiermuth. Now I can go Kareem Hunt, Antonio Gibson, Drake London, DJ Moore.
Leave it the way you have it. Leave it the way you have it.
Well, Mike Williams is out. I need to get him out of the equation.
London.
Drake London. Okay. Mr.
Drake I have a feeling because Pitts is on IR that it's going to even more concentration of targets to Drake London, which is a good thing because he needs it. He really needs more targets.
Yeah. Well,
before we sign off, I do want to add in that I will have some Bryce Perkins as the leverage cheap quarterback to get all my studs in.
Yeah.
Because Perkins he came in when Stafford hurt his neck. He came in, he had 5 rushes for 39 yards in half the game. 39 yards rushing is 3.9 points. That's the same as 1 passing touchdown. So you get a full game against a Chiefs team that's going to be way ahead or theoretically way ahead. I like the game flow narrative for Bryce Perkins to hit value and give you all sorts of salary cap room.
Yeah, no, I like it. Richard, I'm going to go P. Ryan all day for your flex over Paris Campbell and Latavius. Bo, you concur with that?
Give me Latavius.
Latavius. Ooh, a little difference here. I like it. All right. I'm Nimble W Number Scott Simpson. Go find me on the tweeters. Please like and subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast Fantasy Football YouTube channel. It's hard to find. So if you found us, I appreciate you. Go follow Bo_McBigtime, Bo McBrayer on Twitter, and follow his LinkedIn tree and buy his merch. Get his gear. Perfect holiday present. Bo, I'm not going to lie to you. I bought myself 13 Generation 1 reissue Transformers for Christmas. I'm going to wrap them up myself, and then I'm going to open them myself. So what are you going to do?
Okay, boomer.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I don't care. First time I've ever bought myself presents, So
yeah,
do something.
You nice Gen Xers are all the same and didn't get enough love.
No, my Transformers were broken by my cousins and my friends and my friend. I need to get back to my roots. So, all right, get back to your roots this week and play some DFS. We'll see you guys next time. Bo, anything you want to say as we get out of here?